Welcome back to Mixed Machines. On today's episode, I have terrible audio quality, audio issues, and as you can tell, I'm going to be doing a voiceover for everything. So, I have no sound at all for this complete video, and what I'm going to be doing today is cleaning up our block. Cleaning up our engine block for the 350. We're going to be starting with just using some soap and water, trying to get all the oil and everything cleaned off. And then after that, we're going to be using a air grinder with a wire wheel attachment to clean off the rest. So because I will be painting this block for when we build it, I want to make sure there's no leaks and stuff when it's in the truck and running. And as you see towards the end of the video, there is a severe issue with the engine. So with that, I'm going to fast forward the video of just scrubbing it down until we get to the air buzzer part. So here we go. Alright, so we went through, we gave it a quick scrub down with some soap. As you can see, my block is somewhat kind of a flaky orange. In spots where it's really dark, it's not orange at all. But we're going to be taking all that off with the right angle die grinder with a wire wheel attachment. So we're going to be using that. See that my hand right there? We're going to be using that tool to clean everything off to get it down to the bare metal. And that's going to be a lengthy process. It took about an hour for me to get this whole entire block done. And that's both sides, front, and then I clean off all of the gasket surfaces. So the flat areas where gaskets go on, you can see where it's shiny. And our top corner right next to the grinder. So that I'm going to kind of skip around, show you how it slowly turns into the dull gray, meaning it's all clean off. And then you'll also see that I spray on some PB Blaster on the side of the block to show up the paint again, see if there's any spots that I missed. And then I clean that off with some ether, and then I hit it again, clean it all off, and hit it again with the air grinder, with the wire wheel attachment. So here we go. Okay, so we finished up the whole sides of the block, sides, the top, everything. Now we're gonna move on to the front and do the same thing. We're gonna hit it with the wire wheel, clean it all off, get it all back to that dull metal that you see there on the side. And then we'll just speed through that real quick. Okay, so the next part we're going to be doing after cleaning all the block up is we're going to be honing the cylinders. And you see that the tool I have out is called a 3-stone hone. Now, it is one of the cheaper hones you'll get, and it's also one of the most unrecommended tools to use for this purpose. And that is because the 3 stones on there are flexible, they move around, they can tilt up and down, and they're not the best at getting the perfect hone that you want. In order to get the perfect hone, the best way to do that is to bring it to a machine shop and have them use their machining tools for it. The best hone to use is a rigid stone hone. It usually has 2 to 4 stones on it, and they're rigid, they sit in one spot, they do not move, and it's the best one to use. Where this one can flex and taper, the rigid stones will not, so those are the best hone to use. But they're also quite expensive. So most people, they'd be building an engine in the garage, will not be having one of those. They'll be using the style I have, which is a 3-stone hone. And then the other option you have, and then the third hone, which is the flex hone or dingle ball hone as most people know it by, is to be used to only remove glaive. That's if you're rebuilding an engine that's just ran, it's just a good running engine, and you're just changing piston rings or something in it. You use that to take the glaze off, to clean up the cylinder, to rehash your cylinder wall so you can put the new rings in. That's what that hone is for. But I always recommend the best way to do a cylinder, to hone out the cylinder, is to bring it to a machine shop and have them do it. The prices vary. It can be $500 to $1,200. Now, I'm building this engine in my garage, so I'm going to be using a 3-stone hone. That's not the best choice. I don't always recommend it, but this is what I'm going to be using, and this is what we're going to be doing. The reason I'm doing this is, as I'll show later in the video, I have 2 cylinders that have really low spots in them, and those low spots are about 30 thou over 4 inch, which a standard 350 block is stock is a 4-inch bore, and you usually go up to about 30 over. But they're a little bit over 30. We're going to run this we're going to run this block anyways, just to see what happens. It may last 5 miles, it may last 100,000 miles. Who knows? We'll find out. And we're also putting boost on it, so we never really expect this engine to survive in the long run. With that being said, that's why I'm using the 3-stone hone. I'm just going to use it to clean up my cylinders the best I can, get them all fairly similar. I got a little portion of the video that I still have from good sound that came actually through when I was recording it. Now I'm going to be showing you the cylinders and talking about that. That's why I'm using the stone. So I might have a low spot there. See right there? Right there between my hash. I don't know why it's so terrible for. Trying to get this. Yeah, it's right there in the middle. You don't really see the hash marks, but here on the side you do. So that's why I'm using the stones, is just in case if that is a low spot. Alright, so what you do, you take your hone, squeeze in your stones, and you put it in the hole. Make sure you have plenty of lubrication on it. You can use engine oil. I'm using W40. So, make sure you got a good coverage of oil. Now your drill is going to be set on medium speed, and you're going to quickly go up and down. So for my drill, I'm going to have it at the first gear, and here we go. Alright, so you can see how quickly I did it. I went up and down probably 10-15 times. That's all I really want to do. So after you do it for a little bit, you check it. Make sure you have a good crosshatch. Flip it out. You check. Looks like you go a little slower, faster than up and down. You can see my top up here. It's still glazed over. So a little bit further dip than the rest of it. Looking at the rest of it, everything else looks like it's going out pretty even. So I don't have to worry about any low spots in this. And again, we'll work on it some more. Try to get the top looked out more. Do it again. You keep checking it. Do a little bit. You check, and then importantly, you check the size. Got a couple more passes to go on this one. You keep it even with this one. Alright, so what I'm using here is called a bore gauge. So I have it set up for a measurement. And my bore gauge, it's set up for around 4. Set up for a 4-inch diameter. Stick it in, go down, and you find the highest spot. This case will be right there. And you check the full, running down. You check the full size of it real quickly. Otherwise, you take a T gauge and do it that way. So I'm trying to get them all pretty much around the same. It's going to be possible to mold exactly the same using this hone. Another reason people don't like using it. This one's done. Looks like I have a pretty good hash. And that's it. So I'm going to do that with each cylinder. And we're going to get her done. So I showed you my first one, real time, see how long it actually takes. Now I'm going to fast forward through all the rest of them just to get it done. Here we go. So this here is the worst cylinder. Yeah, it's pretty much the worst cylinder. Other than the one back there. Definitely have the most water damage that you can see. Like all this down right there is all water damage. All this up here, rust, water damage. And all up there. It's got some rust, water damage. This one's not too bad. Like it's got some rust pits up there, you see. The water was sitting down there. See that? So that's the reason why I wanted to do the stone. Because it was evenly cut it all out. So if I use the limit there. So this view here is the rest of the cylinders all honed out. Like you see from this angle, they look pretty good. But that's a lie. They don't look good at all. I'll show you. And always, after you're done honing, you want to put a nice coat of oil over the cylinders that you just honed to make them nice, oily, so they don't rust up. Alright, so grab the camera. I'm going to show you here. So this is my one cylinder. You can see the top corner of it right there I pointed at. That's quite eaten out right there. You see where it's kind of the dull. It's real dark. You see that ring there, which was still dark up top. That one too, it's real dark up top. And this one is dark up top, and it has that crescent dark spot right there. I showed real quick. But see, that's where it's pretty messed up at. And with that, thank you for joining me on my little adventure of building this engine so far. So, you got it honed out, you got the block all cleaned up and ready for paint. And the reason I'm painting it is for when I put it in, oil leaks easily to spot, easy to deal with. Stuff like that. It makes it a little nicer looking. Again, don't know how long this engine is going to last. It could be 5 miles. It could be 20,000 miles. It could be 100,000 miles. Most unlikely. But thank you for watching, and as always, you be so kind. Please like, comment, subscribe. And if you want to see more, right now I'm doing this project with my 64 panel. We're going to do a twin supercharged 350 Chevy in it. And I'm also building my 67 Cougar. And I plan on making a drag racer out of it. So thank you again, and I hope you enjoyed. Until next time.